England is standing on the edge of a cliff, and if something doesn't change immediately, the World Cup dream is going to turn into an absolute nightmare in the knockout stages. We all saw the group stage matches, we saw the points on the board, but let's be completely honest with ourselves, the performances have been nowhere near the level required to lift the ultimate trophy. The warning signs are not just flashing, they are screaming at us, and the rest of the world has officially figured out how to make this incredibly talented squad look completely ordinary. If you think England can just cruise through the next round playing this exact same brand of football, you are in for a very rude awakening. The tactical cracks are widening, the body language on the pitch is raising serious questions, and the pressure is building to a breaking point before this next decisive clash. When you look at the sheer amount of world-class talent available in this squad, it feels almost impossible that the team is struggling this much to create clear-cut chances. We are talking about some of the most expensive, highly rated players in world football, individuals who destroy club defenses week in and week out in the toughest leagues on the planet. Yet, the moment they put on the national shirt lately, the dynamic, fluid attacking play completely evaporates, replaced by a slow, predictable, and incredibly frustrating style of play. The ball moves from side to side, back to the defenders, across the midfield, but almost never breaks the lines or catches the opposition off guard. It is safe, it is sterile, and more importantly, it is exactly what every single opponent wants to see. But why is this happening, and what is the massive flaw that every major tactical analysis is pointing out right now? The biggest issue lies in the complete lack of balance and spacing across the pitch. When England attacks, the pitch suddenly feels incredibly small because players are constantly occupying the same zones, stepping on each other's toes, and looking for the exact same spaces. Instead of stretching the opposition defense and forcing them to cover the wide areas, England has become incredibly narrow. This allows opposing managers to simply park a compact defensive block right in the middle of the pitch, completely neutralizing England's biggest creative threats. If you don't provide natural width, and if you don't have players willing to make selfless, gut-busting runs behind the defensive line to drag defenders out of position, you become the easiest team in the world to defend against. This brings us to another massive tactical concern that could prove fatal in the knockout rounds: the transition speed. In modern international football, the transition from defense to attack is where games are won and lost. The top teams in the world win the ball back and transition into a lethal counterattack within 3 to 4 seconds, catching the opponent before they can organize. England, however, looks like they are playing in slow motion during these crucial moments. By the time the ball reaches the attacking third, the opposition has already recovered, formed two tight defensive lines, and settled into their shape. This forces England back into that grueling, slow possession cycle that leads absolutely nowhere. And don't think for a second that the issues are only restricted to the attacking side of the pitch, because the defensive vulnerabilities are starting to look incredibly worrying. In the group stages, individual quality and moments of recovery managed to mask some of these problems, but against top-tier opposition in a do-or-die knockout match, those gaps will be ruthlessly exploited. The space between the midfield line and the defensive back line has been far too big at times, leaving the center-backs completely exposed to quick, vertical passes. If a team with an elite, clinical playmaker manages to exploit that pocket of space, England will find themselves chasing the game, a scenario they look completely unequipped to handle right now. What makes this situation even more frustrating for fans and pundits alike is the apparent lack of proactive adjustments during the 90 minutes. It feels like the plan is always to rely on a single moment of individual magic from a superstar player to save the day, rather than relying on a cohesive, well-drilled tactical system. While individual brilliance can get you through a tough group stage match or rescue a point against a lower-ranked nation, it is a catastrophic strategy for the knockout rounds of a World Cup. The teams left in this tournament are too organized, too disciplined, and too smart to let one player beat them for an entire match. So, what must happen before the next decisive match to ensure England doesn't suffer another heartbreaking, premature exit? The answer starts with courage, tactical bravery, and a willingness to make the hard decisions that should have been made weeks ago. First and foremost, the coaching staff must fix the balance of the midfield and the flanks. If a certain tactical setup or player combination is clearly not working, it cannot be rolled out yet again just out of habit or reputation. The system must serve the players, and right now, the system is actively holding them back. There needs to be a clear injection of pace, a commitment to playing forward with urgency, and a demand for higher intensity from the very first whistle. The players themselves also need to step up and take responsibility on the pitch. We need to see leadership, we need to see players demanding the ball in tight spaces, and we need to see a level of urgency that reflects the gravity of a World Cup knockout match. There is no second chance anymore. There is no tomorrow, no building for the next game, and no room for excuses. It is 90 minutes to keep the dream alive, or it is a quiet, miserable flight back home to face a furious public. The warning signs have been delivered on a silver platter, and ignoring them any longer is a recipe for footballing disaster. The entire footballing world is watching right now, waiting to see if England can finally unlock their true potential or if they will crumble under the weight of expectation yet again. The talent is undeniable, the squad depth is envied by almost every other nation, but talent alone does not win World Cups. Organization, tactical flexibility, and ruthless efficiency are what separate the champions from the teams that go home early. England has been warned, the flaws are exposed, and now it is time to see what this team is truly made of when the lights are at their brightest. If you want to stay completely up to date with all the latest tactical breakdowns, breaking news, and deep dive analysis as we head deeper into these high-stakes World Cup knockout matches, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. Don't forget to drop a like on this video to help support the channel and let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Do you think England can fix these glaring issues in time for the next match, or are we about to witness another tragic collapse on the biggest stage of all? Let me know your predictions, let's get the debate started, and I will see you all in the next one.